Wow, and welcome back to Weekend on Wheels, and I'm Girish. And today I am at Kanchana Hyundai. No surprises. So today I'm going to check out their all new Creta Electric. So I'm going to give you a first look about this car. So this car has been a pioneer in this segment, a leader in this segment. Could it be its petrol version or the diesel version? And today they have it in the new avatar, which is the electric version. So let's drive this and also tell you more about this EV electric car and should you consider buying this. So here's the all new Creta Electric. Let's talk about the exterior and interior about this car and tell you more about the looks of this car. So this does not look too different from its petrol or the diesel variant. They have similar design line. The major difference would be in this front grille, that is this and also this, but otherwise they have the similar design concept in this. So if you see closely, you have this pixel type design in the front for the bumper, and then this is the charger port. Then you have the 360-degree camera in the front, and then you have these flaps. So these are utility based flaps, so they open when the motor gets heated up. So this is an automated process, and when the temperature is normal, it will close back. And this is one of their cooling system that they have integrated in the car. And then coming on to the headlights, they have the standard LED headlight, have this nice metal finish look on the bumper as well. And now if you look at the side profile, there's not much of a change. This looks exactly like the non-electric version, that's the diesel or the petrol version, which is exactly similar. There's no changes on the side. Non-electric version, that's the diesel or the petrol version, which is exactly similar. There's no changes on the side. You get a very nice aerodynamic mag wheel to complement the overall look of this car. And from the side design profile, it's the same. Let's get on to the back side of the car and tell you more about that. Now when you look at the back, it has this similar design line again, and not much change is happening. So you have the LED DRL lights here, and then you have the connected DRL light here, continuous connected DRL light. You have electric mentioned here, and also bumper has the same pixelation bumper, and it has an integrated light also here, and then the bumper has this metal finish kind of a color on the bumper. And then you have a spoiler here, and then the shark fin antenna. So this is how it will look from the back, and this is the side profile. So now let's drive this and also tell you how this feels while driving and give you a little more info about the interior part of this. So safety first, so get onto your seat belt and then let's start. So before we drive, let me show you. So what they've done is, normally all your electric cars will have a knob here which you work on. The knob is here, but then they have taken the knob option from here and given it somewhere here where you have D, N and R, which is drive, neutral and then reverse, and then the parking is what you do. And they've made a lot of space here so that you can keep your cup holders. And then you have this drive mode here, so you have 3 different drive mode on this, which is eco mode, you have normal mode, and then you have the sports mode. And then you have the park button, which has been given here, auto hold, and then you have camera, parking, and then you have this is the ventilated seat. So both the front seat are ventilated seat. Rest of the thing on the go I will explain now. So let's drive mode, and currently I am in the normal mode. So you just have to turn the knob and you will get to see that in the instrument cluster here, all those information. So what's different from the IC Creta versus electric Creta? The first change that you see is in the steering. The entire steering is different, and also all the instruments here, the buttons are different to what it's there in the petrol or the diesel Creta. And one more very big difference is this logo bit. What you see in the regular Creta is the Hyundai logo, but here you have this one, which is same as Ioniq, which is Hyundai Ioniq, and you get a nice 10.25 inch instrument cluster. Then you have the AC control here. You have the dual AC mode here, so The pillion also can control their AC bit, and then you of course can control all the AC bit. Then coming here, you have a wireless charger, which is a super utility. Then you have the C-type charger, then you have the 12 volts charger, and then you have the USB charger. And there's a good space given here. And if you look at the entire design language in the instrument cluster, is very, very spick and span beautiful. So it feels very good. And one of the biggest feature also is this panoramic sunroof. This has a big, very big, nice panoramic sunroof. If you see, it will go till the last. So the entire panoramic sunroof is a very good experience. Let me just close it. It's summertime and it's too hot. This comes with the level 2 ADAS. So you have 75 plus advanced safety features, which makes it completely safe to drive this. And then you have a 360-degree camera in the system, so also taking turns or while you're parking, when you're in traffic, you get a lot of video footages while you're driving in the console here. And then you get the ventilated seat, which is one of my favorite. I'll just turn it on. Now let's talk about drive, how it feels. Does it still have, so let me just change this to the eco mode. So this is the eco mode. So when you see here, let me just show that. So now it's moved to sports. This is normal and eco mode. And the drive feel is as good as how it feels when you're driving a conventional diesel or a petrol car. You don't really come to know it's an electric car, which is a fantastic plus. And 0 to 100 in this is just 7.8 seconds, which is mind-blowing. So I'm not going to talk too much about the spec in this, because you'll get that across the net. Does not make sense. So let me just move from eco to normal mode. So in terms of power, you will come to know when you actually throttle what is the difference. And then you have this very fancy looking stuff here, which looks like a paddle shifter, but then don't take it wrong, this is not a paddle shifter. This is basically the intensity of regen that you can do. So the minus part reduces the regen, and especially when you throttle and leave, there's a bit of braking. That's the regen which happens. And if you plus this, go on a higher mode, so when you throttle and when you leave, the regen is on a much higher. So that's what these paddle shifter work, and that's what they do. And also when you look at this bit here, the switches that you have, you can do a lot of work around this place with the switches that you have. You can control calls, make calls. You have Android Auto, you have iPhone connection with this and all of it. So let me just show you the screen first, and this is how it will look like. It's got navigation, it's got radio, music, all of that. I'm not going to play music because then I'll have a copyright strike, so I don't want to have a music played on the radio now. But then comes with both speakers, so the output of the music is very, very good. So let's just show you the space behind. So if you look at the back, 3 people can comfortably fit in. I'll just sit on the back as well and show you the space that is there when you sit at the back, and I'll also show you the boot and what is the space available in the boot. Now let's sit behind and show you the space. So I am 5'7.5". So if I'm sitting, I'm very comfortable, and there is enough room here between my leg. So this is for the kids if they want to have some juice or food, or they want to eat something. So this tray is there, and also if they want to watch using the tab, you can probably keep the tab here and watch. And on the rear here, you have 2 AC vents, and then you have 2 Type-C charging ports, so you can charge your mobile phone comfortably. And a very, very comfortable seat when you're sitting on the back. Now let's show you the boot. So now let's have a look at the boot. This gets a similar boot space as what the original Creta, which is the petrol or the diesel engine Creta used to have. So it has the same amount of boot space. So on the normal mode, I just want to go to the sports mode now and show you the difference. Whoa, look at this, the weight response, and the minute you are in sports mode, the way it just takes you, that 0 to 100 or the adrenaline rush that you can feel is tremendous. The torque is at its full So each of these have their different bands or the thresholds, the way it works, the parameters. Now look at this. Whoa, it's a overwhelming power when you are on the sports mode. Amazing. It's basically like unlocking all the bands in terms of how you can work, bhp, torque, everything. So it's at the top spec, and also feels very, very controlled. Look, feels planted on the ground when you drive. So overall experience has been brilliant. So people who are interested to buy one can visit Kanchana Hyundai in Mangalore, or the nearest Hyundai showroom of your city. Take a test drive and definitely feel the drive experience, and also the kind of luxury that they've provided for an electric car. Could it be ADAS 2.0? Could it be the ventilated seat or the Bose speakers? It's just adding on to the overall experience. And also the 10.25 inch, the entire instrument cluster which is there, is a brilliant add up. The only one thing I felt could have been better in this is the placement of this unit, where you select the option of drive or reverse or park. So sometimes this becomes a blind spot for somebody who's new, because your steering covers a little bit of this portion, and let me show you a little bit. So if you keep your steering cross, you really don't know what mode are you unless you look at the screen here. So you'll have to get used to this till you figure out how it works. That's something can be improved, is what I feel. Otherwise, in terms of the way the entire vehicle performs, is fantastic. The braking is really good. It has a very good bite, and even when it comes to cornering, the car plants itself very easy to corner, and the whole drive dynamics of the car is really good. So currently I'm still on the sports mode. All I have to do is just throttle a little bit, and the response is fantastic. In no time, let me just show you, I'm on 16, no time I'm in 100. Look at this. It's just amazing the way it responds. And also thing is, when you're in sports mode, you will see the odo cluster here. Let me just show you the color. It's a red and orange. That tells you it's aggressive mode. And then let me just show you in the normal mode. So when you put it in the normal mode, it changes to blue, and when we put it into the eco mode, it's a little bit of light blue green kind of a thing. So that's how the odo color also varies. And then you have a lot of information going on in the odo cluster. You can see here TPS, which is tire pressure system. So it says the right and rear tire has a low pressure and indicates that it needs to be filled. So it's 30 now. Check this out now. In no time already crossed 120, and that's how powerful this gets when you're on the sports mode. The minute you floor it, it just goes like a bullet out of the gun, straight out. And even look at the way it controls in the corner. It is super planted. The suspension works very well on that sports mode, giving you a proper confidence of capturing that corner, staying planted, and not feeling that you're drifting away or anything. Because when it comes to electric, you have that entire torque coming out of the snap of your finger, because right from zero itself there's a full delivery of torque, unlike your petrol or a diesel engine, where you have to attain a certain RPM to get that torque. But in this case, it's not that. The minute you floor it, you have the full potential of the torque coming out. So this has been my experience driving this for the last 100 plus kilometers easily. So you see, when you put the left indicator, the 360-degree video starts working. So you get the view of what's around you through the screen here, and the minute indicator is switched off, that camera will stop working. Similarly, when you're taking a reverse or when you're in traffic, so it will give you a full 360-degree view of what's around you, which is a very, very good feature for people who are not comfortable driving in tight situations, where you can get a complete view of what's happening around. And that's very good having a feature which is a 360-degree camera feature.